I'm so happy to be back in London, my home city. I've been away a lot. I was touring in America and I got out, which is not a given in the current climate. After I got back, people kept saying, so how's it going in America? How do you fucking think it's going? Not good. Nothing works anymore because they fired all the people that know how to make a country work and replaced them with one single pimple-faced 23-year-old piece of shit in the name of governmental efficiency, whose only qualification is that in 2016 he tweeted a racial slur at Michelle Obama from a Twitter account named @PussySmasher69, and he's there under the direct orders of their president, who in many ways is the modern Reagan, in that he is a celebrity homophobe, visibly addled by dementia, and his far right-hand man, Elon Musk, a man whose sole goal is he wakes up every day and thinks, how is it possible for me to be one day named history's worst white South African? And he could do it, man. Elon could do it. I believe in him. Now look, we will come to the American election anon, but let us just start by reminding everybody that we had an election in our country. Yeah, that's right, on the 4th of July last year, a different kind of Independence Day, but it was a sad day for me and my community, because we lost a good brother that day, Rishi Sunak. A brother downed in the midst of his professional prime, and it brought to an end a 2-year period where me and my community were represented at the highest level of politics in this country. Because Rishi Sunak represented me, and he represented my community. Because Rishi Sunak is British, he's Indian, and he's a cunt. And this was huge. This was huge for my community. The British Indian cunts, the BIC. I never said which community. This was huge for the BIC. When I was growing up as a young POC person of cunt, I assumed that if someone of my ethnicity became Prime Minister, there'd be some nice guy. No, fucking hedge fund guy. They may as well have got an axe murderer on the ethical scale. And if you're thinking, Nish, were you a cunt? Oh, I was a cunt. When I was at school, I was the president of my school's debating society, which I founded. Oh, what a cunt. And now I know how all the white cunts have felt in this country all of these years, looking at the Prime Minister. Because it's been an unbroken streak of white cunt after white cunt after white cunt, brackets female. And now I know how good it feels to see yourself reflected back in your political leadership. Because when I looked at Rishi Sunak, I saw myself. Because when I looked at Rishi Sunak, I saw an under-talented, over-promoted British Indian man struggle and eventually fail to connect with the majority of the people in his country. And I thought, representation matters. Oh, it matters so much. Rough couple of years for the South Asians in this country, let me tell you. We have been the face of some of the stupidest politics in this country's history, and while it was happening, we've been told, regardless of your politics, the South Asian community must be pleased with the representation. And now it's happening to my cousins in America because of right-wing Indian Republicans like Kash Patel and Vivek Ramaswamy. Regardless of your politics, you must be pleased with the political representation. Firstly, you can't say regardless of your politics when the people you're talking about are fucking politicians. Secondly, stop telling people from marginalised communities that we should be proud when individuals from our communities get into positions of political power by promising to enact policies that discriminate against our own and other marginalised communities. It's stupid fucking shit, man. Listen, I love the South Asian community and I want us to succeed all over the world, but not at the expense of other marginalised people. I want us to succeed at the expense of white people, and I think I've actually been incredibly clear about that from minute one. Relax, honkies, I'm just fucking with you. The original title of the show was Fucking with the Honkies before the suits at head office cracked down in yet another example of cancel culture run amok. And what these right-wing South Asians in America are about to discover is what the right-wing South Asians in Britain discovered, that to their white bosses, they are eminently replaceable and fundamentally interchangeable. If you think Donald Trump can tell the difference between Kash Patel, Vivek Ramaswamy, or any Mexican, then you are fucking high on crystal meth. The white racists in this country can't tell the difference between me and my friend and comedic colleague Ramesh Ranganathan, and he is Sri Lankan and wears glasses. And listen, you can't make sweeping statements like the South Asian community must feel any one thing about anything. Indians, Pakistanis, Bangladeshis, Sri Lankans, that's too many different countries and cultures. Even if you mean Indians, do you mean Hindus, do you mean Muslims? It's too many different cultures. There is only one crass sweeping generalization you can make about a large section of the South Asian community, and that is this: every South Asian woman over the age of 60 loves Princess Diana. They all fucking love Princess Diana, and I'm right, aren't I, brown woman? I always have visible browns. Get that visible brown woman on the camera right now. I always have VBs, visible browns, to verify my remarks about the community. They fucking love Princess Diana, right? And they all think the royal family killed her. And they think about it so much that if you just ran up to my mum in the street and just said, they killed her, she'd say, yeah, I think it was Philip. That is the extent to which it obsesses them. And who do you think they hate most that's still left in the royal family? Camilla. Camilla, or as my mother calls her, that woman. That is how my mother refers to the reigning Queen of England by the phrase, that woman. And at one point, during the interminable coronation process, they were going to give that woman the Queen Mother's old crown. Now, this is a controversial object, because it contains within it the largest remaining piece of the Koh-i-Noor diamond. This is a diamond British troops stole from India, smashed and placed the largest remaining piece of in the Queen Mother's old crown. Now, that whole story was a surprise to me as someone who studied British history in the British education system. Because as far as I learned, all we did in India was just be cool legends, and all we came back with were some great memories and the word veranda. But no, it turns out there were some proper bad apples on the rob. So they decided to not use that crown because it's genuinely a diplomatic incident in prospect, and they stood it down and got a different crown from the crown shed. I don't know where these people keep their fucking crowns. I don't care to know it either, right? But when they stood that crown down, my mother phoned me and said, it's a good thing they're not giving that crown to that woman. And I said, first of all, hello, Bina, how are you? And she said, if they'd have given that crown to that woman, I'd have gone down there, and ripped out the jewel myself. Now listen, none of us in this room, least of all me, wants to see my mother assassinated by the Secret Service. But I think we can all also agree, if she had gone down there, it would have livened up the most boring day of television in the history of this country that we somehow managed to inflict on the entire fucking world. Boy, we really evened the score for giving everyone Fleabag with that fucking shit, man. But imagine how much more fun it would have been if in the middle of the ceremony, one of the correspondents would have had to say something like this, and now, in a tradition that dates back to... Oh! There seems to be a South Asian woman over the age of 60 running towards Camilla Parker Bowles screaming, give me back my jewels, this should have been Diana's, you whore! Why do we still have a royal family, guys? How the fuck has that slipped through the goddamn modernisation net? Jesus fucking Christ. How is it possible? It's 2025. That's too high a number. You can't have electric cars and a king. That's so fucking weird. Full disclosure, I got the old lady, okay? I got the old lady, or to give her full title, Her Majesty, the Old Lady. I got the old lady. She connected people to the war. She meant something to people all over the world. But I assumed, and I don't think I'm the only one, that when the old lady kicked the fucking diamond-encrusted bucket, we'd be done with the entire fucking lot of them. I just assumed our country was like one of those families where everyone's waiting for the grandparents to die so they can all be gay. That's what I thought was happening, just waiting for a generation to respectfully pass away so you can live normal lives and kiss whoever the fuck you want to kiss, man. And we should talk more about why they're in that position. They are in that position because of something we believe in called the divine right of kings. We believe that they are there because God put them in that position. And we should say that more often because we realise how fucking stupid the entire thing is. Also, it would enable us to be less angry with them as individuals. Everyone made fun of Prince Harry because they said he wasn't able to deliver on contracts he was awarded by Netflix and Spotify. Now, I am sorry, but that is the fault of Netflix and Spotify. Why in the name of God would you give a work contract to a man whose CV is just a piece of paper that says, Jesus made my granny magic? Why would you do that? And in December, we found out the cost to the British taxpayer of the coronation. £72 million. I'm going to be honest with you, Hackney, you might be sat there thinking, well, that doesn't work out as much per taxpayer, but it's stuck in my throat. Because in 2008, the financial crisis happened, and we have simply never recovered. And every time since then, we've gone to our government and said, hey, we need some money to fix our schools, hospitals, or feed our poor children. And they said, no, there's no money. So I'm going to be honest with you. It fucking stuck in the throat to find out that someone in the treasury in our country went down the back of a fucking sofa cushion and managed to find £72 million of our money and then spent it so they could have a party to pop a gold hat on a paedophile's brother. That does stick in the throat somewhat. Now, because we're filming this for legal reasons... For legal reasons, I am legally required to say that I don't think Prince Andrew is a paedophile. That wasn't a wink, that was just a fun one-eye blink. I'm legally required to say I don't think Prince Andrew is a paedophile. I'm not calling him any of the following phrases: megapede, ultrapede, supernons. At no point am I saying, say Drew, I hear you like I'm young. I am not saying any of those things. However, I was about to talk about him on a radio programme here, and I consulted a professional libel lawyer who okayed the following phrase: paedophile adjacent. It is legally fine to describe the King's brother and the President of America by the phrase paedophile adjacent, because there are multiple photos of both of them next to Jeffrey Epstein. Therefore, they are literally adjacent to a paedophile and can be described as such in the broadcast and print media. My gift to you, Hackney, do with it what you will. And listen, as we reflect on Rishi Sunak's career, the first ethnic minority person to be Prime Minister of the UK, it is worth noting something, right? He was the victim of racist abuse. Now, it's a racist abuse he would frequently fail to acknowledge for reasons of his own personal or political ambition, but that doesn't mean it wasn't there. Of course, Rishi Sunak was the victim of racism. He tried to be Prime Minister before he was actually Prime Minister and lost to Liz Truss, a white woman so stupid, scientists now believe she was breastfed by a car exhaust. And then on the 6th of June last year, something happened. It was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day celebration, and they had a massive event with world leaders everywhere. Rishi Sunak attended but left early so he could give a television interview as part of the general election campaign. Now, to be clear, even I know he shouldn't have done that. Even me, communist McBrownface, knows... You don't fuck around with D-Day. You respect the people who died on D-Day. You don't turn Saving Private Ryan off after the first hour just because that's the best bit of the film. You stay and watch till the boring, boring end to respect the greatest generation. Now, so Sunak, it was right to criticise him, but some of the criticism he received was absolutely, at the very least, racially charged, okay? Nigel Farage, the Donald Trump-approved leader of a far-right political party in this country who was at the D-Day celebration. Hey, quick question. Why the fuck are we inviting the leaders of far-right political parties to the goddamn D-Day celebration? For balance, are we legally required to have people there to represent the losing side of fucking D-Day? Farage said that Sunak had left early because he did not understand our culture, right? Now, what is that? That's the most powerful person of colour that's ever lived in this country being told that he doesn't belong by a man who continues to sit in the Houses of Parliament to this day. In America, a black person becomes president. What happens? A game show host demands to see his birth certificate, and that game show host was just re-elected as their fucking president. And when you don't acknowledge racism when it's aimed at powerful people of colour, it has consequences for ordinary people. And in summer 2024, those consequences boiled over. There were race riots in the United Kingdom. A mob full of people chanting pro-Hitler slogans attacked a hotel with refugees and asylum seekers in it in our country. And the thing that broke me the most was the next day, on the news, all of these white so-called moderate commentators appeared and started saying, these riots are the fault of immigrant communities. This is what happens when immigrants fail to integrate. It's an allegation we hear a lot, that immigrant communities fail to integrate in predominantly white countries, and that's the cause of racial unrest. And I had to think about it, and do you know what I realised? We're incredible at integration. We come to these countries and we build identities that acknowledge the cultures and traditions of where our parents are from, from, but also acknowledge the cultures and traditions of where we are right now. 2 years ago, I went to my cousin's wedding in Edinburgh, Scotland. Half the guests were wearing saris and kurtas, and the other half were wearing fucking kilts. Last year, India and Pakistan played a cricket match in England. Halfway through the game, the majority British South Asian crowd abandoned their seats so they could watch on television in the bowels of the stadium the England football team compete in a penalty shootout in that summer's European Championships. We are incredible at integration. You know who's bad at integration? White people. And you know how I know? You know how I know that? I've just been on tour. Guess where I went? Canada, New Zealand, Australia, and America. And I've got to be honest with you, the white people don't seem to be very integrated with the people that were there when they arrived. Canada and New Zealand are not particularly integrated, and they are, and this is a horrible phrase, some of the better whites. As for Australia, they had a vote to see if they could integrate their indigenous communities more closely into their constitution, and they voted no. As for America, unless that movie is called The Integrators of the Flower Moon, and I missed the entire fucking point of it, they got a few problems as fucking well. And now I think that's what white people think we've come to do to you in your countries. Murder all of you, steal your land, and then pretend it was ours to begin with. No! That's your thing! You're fucking weird! We're only in these countries to kick it, make a bit of money, and participate in a cultural exchange. Teach you some stuff, learn some stuff from you. We've already taught you about seasoning your food and dancing rhythmically, and in return, you have given us Meryl Streep and being on time. We're all learning things. But we can't move off this subject, can we, without acknowledging that we are in the United Kingdom, aka the Mac Daddy of dog shit white integration, thanks to a 250-year integration project conducted by the aristocracy of our country that brought death, disease, and genocide to all four corners of the globe, left us with a string of geopolitical problems that continue to haunt us to this day, and worst of all, nearly resulted in one of my jewels going in a crown on that woman's fucking head! We would have given it to Diana. We would have given it to Diana. We would have given Diana the Kohinoor diamond. That's how much we love Diana, peace be upon her. And when I looked at the faces of those people in the race riots, twisted and contorted with rage, I was furious, but I also understand they're only pawns in a game, and we need to be angry with the powerful people responsible for instigating this hate. Don't be angry with the guy in the red MAGA hat at the Trump rally. Be angry with the guy in the black MAGA hat who bankrolled the Trump campaign. And when I look at these race rioters, their features twisted and contorted with rage, and when I look at Elon Musk, a thought does occur: when will there be one good-looking white supremacist? When will there be one white supremacist that is visible evidence for the genetic superiority of the white race? I'm going to be honest with you, if Brad Pitt came out as a white supremacist, we'd all say, hear him out, because that guy has got cheekbones for days, months, weeks and years. It's never Brad Pitt, it's never Margot Robbie. It's always cunts who look like Steve Bannon, who seems to have caught leprosy of the entire face and head. Or Elon Musk, who looks like someone tried to stretch skin over a shipping container. Every time I see this motherfucker on the television, all I can think is, why doesn't your skin fit, bro? He looks like the cockroach at the beginning of Men in Black, with the skin suit not fitting properly on him. Sugar water, give me that sugar water. And they keep doing Hitler salutes. Why do they keep doing Hitler salutes? Answer, because they're Nazis. Again, for legal reasons, Nazi adjacent. And one of the first people to defend Elon Musk when he did a Hitler salute was Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. And the reason he did that is Benjamin Netanyahu is a fucking piece of shit, and there is no depths to the hell that man deserves to be consigned to. I am furious by what our governments are sanctioning in Gaza at the moment. I am livid about it. But here's the thing, I'm 39 years old, so for the first time in my life, I'm watching something with a sense of dread and familiarity, right? Because this is the first time we're old enough, people my age, to see something bad happen again. Because if you take all of the history and context out of it in Gaza, which people seem to really want to fucking do, and just start from October the 7th, even then, the 9/11 parallels are overwhelming, right? A terrorist attack happens. It's appalling. But I thought what we had learned is what you must not do do is murder and kill innocent civilians who bear no responsibility for the terrorist attack. It doesn't make anyone safer. The wars in Iraq and Afghanistan didn't make any of us safer. This war is making one man safer, and that man's name is Benjamin Netanyahu. And when I look at the news, I am filled with dread and familiarity. I'm going to be completely honest with you though, Hackney. It is not an unfamiliar sensation for me. It's the same combination of dread and familiarity I feel every time I see a teenager today walking around with jeans that drag in the mud, or I read on the New York Times that Limp Bizkit is blowing up on TikTok. I think, Jesus fucking Christ, they're bringing back all the worst things from the early 2000s. Low-rise jeans, new metal, and the war on terror. Why are these the things we're bringing back? Back me up here, millennials. There was better stuff that happened in that period. We could be wearing statement necklaces, watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and shaking it like a Polaroid picture.